Hey dudes and dudettes, I'm back from my tour of Holland. It was a freaking amazeballs. I'll be doing a video about a report and all of the fun things we got up to, but more importantly, thank you for being patient with me. We're going to be looking at the second solo from Mr. Crowley by Ozzy Osbourne. Let's take a look. Okay, so this first section, we're just going to be having a look at that sort of introductory melody just before the solo. I've picked sort of the most prominent melody, and then there's the harmony that goes with it. So we're going to start off with this phrase. I'm going to start from 5 of the second string. I'm going to play 5, 6, 8. Then I'm going to play 5 of the first string. And then I'm going to reverse those first 3 notes all together. At the end of that, jumping to 7 of the third string, and then I go like this. What I had there was a slide from 8 to 10 on the second, it's quite graced, and then I'm going back to that 8. All together. We've got a very similar phrase for the next chunk now. Let's slow that down. I'm going from 8 of the second string, I'm playing 8, 10, 11. On the string change, I'm hitting 8 on the first string, and then I'm going to play 11, 10, 8, so to reverse those first 3 notes again. Then from that point, jumping to 10 of the third, and then I slide. I prefer to go from 8, but you could go from 10. It doesn't make an enormous difference. I'm sliding from 8 to 11 on the second string, and then resolving that on the 10 all together. Hopefully that's all making sense. Then I work into this phrase. Let's slow that down. I'm starting from 3 of the second string and I'm playing 3, 5, 6. Then I play 3 of the first string and then reverse those first 3 notes. 6, 5, 3 on the second string. At the end of that, I'm going to jump to 3 of the third. And then I slide from 3 to 5 on the first string and resolve back to the 3. All together. Hopefully that's all making sense, and then I work into this last phrase. What I'm doing here is I'm playing 5, 6, 8 on the second string, 5 of the first, and then 8, 6, 5. So it's just a very slow version of that first chunk. So we're going to put this all together, and just keep in mind that on the record and when we're putting it all together and playing it, you want to play this whole section twice. One more time with some tabs. Alright guys, section 2, this is when things get sexy and arpeggio-y. I'm going to start off with this phrase. It's just a basic 2-string arpeggio. The thing with me when I'm playing this is I really like to start on an up pick so that I'm doing outside picking, as opposed to getting caught in between the strings, starting on a down and then going up. You get caught in between. If you start on the back pick, you can land on the down, and that kind of feels a bit more natural to me. So I'm going to do this triplet arpeggio. It's just 3 notes, 8 times in a row. I'm playing 17, 13 is a pull-off on the first string and jumping to 15 on the second. A group of 8 of that, and I do a similar idea, but then I just start from 18, pulling off to 13 on the first and 15 of the second. I then work into just a basic C major triad. I'm pulling off 15 to 12 on the first, playing 13 of the second, using outside picking, and I'm repeating that triplet 8 times as well. After that, I'm working through just a basic F major arpeggio. I'm pulling off from 17 to 13, and then my flat pointer is hitting a C note on 13 of the second string. And once again, I'm doing outside picking with triplets and repeating that 8 times. So we should have 4 arpeggios with 8 triplets each. I'm going to play that at a gentleman's pace from the start, and then we'll have a look at the second half after that. Hopefully that's all making sense. Then I work into this phrase. So what I'm doing there is I've got a double stop playing 15 of the second and the third string, and then I'm moving into 16 of the second string and 17 of the third. So I'm going to do that idea 4 times. So I'm doing a down pick on the 15s, and then I'm back picking the 16 and the 17 together. So I go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, then from that point, got kind of a grace note slide, sliding that 16, 17 chord up to 18 and 19. And then I want to go back to 16 and 17, then to the flat, and then back to 16 and 17 again. So really slowly. All together. And I work into this phrase. I'm kind of just doing, it's kind of trimmed, I guess, but if you wanted to be a little bit more specific, it's kind of 2 triplets each. So I'm playing 15 on the first string, 17 of the second, 15 on the third string, 17 of the second, and I'm doing 2 triplets each on all of those. In a similar vein, I'm going to be playing 14, 15, 17, 18 on the second string. We're going to do 2 triplets each on those. So we'll go from that triplet idea. At the end of that, I've got a vibratoed 17, and then I do 3 quick hammer-ons with a triplet pulse. So I'm going from 15 to 17, ending on the pull-off, and then resolving on that 17. You don't have to be too specific with this, just get that kind of trilly sound. End on a delicious vibrato, and that is all of the second section. I'm going to play that for you again at a gentleman's pace, and then again even slower with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. Alright guys, let's have a look at the third section. This is going to start off quite trilly. I'm going to be playing 14, 15 on the second string. I bring it up a string and do that same idea on the third string and the fourth. At the end of that, I'm going to play 11, 12 on the fourth string. At the end of that, I work into this phrase. Let's slow that down. I'm playing 14-15 on the 4th as a hammer-on, 13-14 on the 3rd string, once again hammered, then 14-15 on the 2nd string, another hammer-on there, and then I've got a pull-off from 17-15 on the 2nd string, and then just sort of a semitone bend with a bit of vibrato. Let's have a look at the whole thing from the start now. Then I work into this big, delicious legato lick. It's kind of based around, I guess, like a Phrygian cage shape. It's all related to D minor though. So when we're going from here, I'm going. Let's slow that down. I'm doing a hammer-on pull-off, going 5-6-5 on the 1st string. Then I jump from 8 of the 2nd back to 5 of the 1st. At the end of that, let's slow that down. I'm rolling 8-6-5 on the 2nd string, so lots of legato here. And then I'm doing a pull-off from 6-5 and then playing 7-5 on the 3rd string. All together thus far. At the end of that, I'm going to play 8-7-5 on the 4th, once again with legato, and then ending on 8 of the 5th string. So all together thus far of just that chunk. At the end of that, let's slow that down. I'm playing 5 of the 4th, and then I'm playing 8-7-5 on the 5th. At the end of that, I'm going to do another hammer-on from 7 to 8, but you'll notice that I pick it again. There. At the end of that, I'm doing a pull-off from 7 to 5 on the 4th, jumping to 8 of the 5th. So we've got... Hopefully that's all making sense. And then we go to this big, delicious F major run. Really, really fun to do, just sort of straightforward hammer-on legato. So let's start this off. I'm playing just a 3-note per string F major shape. I'm playing 1-3-5 on the 6th and 5th string, 1 pick per string, 2-3-5 on the 4th and 3rd. And then from that point, I'm playing 3-5-7 on the 3rd. And then I'm going to play 5-6-8 on the 2nd and the 1st string. So to me, I'm kind of also borrowing some notes from the G Dorian 3-note per string shape if you want to get technical. So this is what we should have thus far of that F major run. Now, the thing that I've got to do here is I've got to roll that back. I'm playing 5-6-8-6-5 all in one go. That's going to speed up a little bit from the triplets. From that point, I'm jumping to 8 of the 2nd string back to 5 of the 1st. And we've got... What I'm doing here is I'm doing a pull-off 8-6-5 on the 2nd string. Then another pull-off from 6-5. So we've got... At the end of that, I'm playing 8 of the 2nd, 5 of the 1st, back to 8 of the 2nd. At the end of that, I'm playing 6-5. So let's go from the start of that legato run, and then we'll look at the trills that finish off the section. Okay, then I've got a trill between 2 and 3 on the 2nd string, 3 and 5, and then 5 and 6, and then 6 and 8, 8 and 10, 10 and 11, 11 and 13. So we've got, at the end of that, slide from 13 to 15 and add some cheeky vibrato at the end of that. I'm not doing a specific amount, I'm just kind of trilling till it feels right and then moving across and just kind of working with a straight crotchet or quarter note pace, if that kind of makes sense. Okay, so let's go right back to the start of the section, put it all together at a gentleman's pace, and then again, even slower with some tabs. more time with some tabs. Alright guys, final section, we're going to start off with this. There's a bit of a weird messy note that gets in there that I like to put in just to be as authentic as possible. I'm playing 17, 18 on the second string, then 19 of the third. Then I repeat it. I'm playing 17, 18 again on the second string, but you notice there's an open E on that 17. And then I repeat that first phrase. All together. Hopefully that's all making sense. Then I work into this phrase. All right, let's slow that down. All right, so I'm doing a hammer-on pull-off, going 17, 18, 17 on the first string. Then I jump to 20 of the second string, then back to 17 of the first. At the end of that, I'm pulling off 20 to 18 on the second string. Then we've got, I'm hammering 17, 18, 20 on the second, then jumping to the first string. And then I want to play that 20, 18, 17 on the second. I'm not legatoing it the second time. It just feels a little bit more smoother for me when I pick those extra notes. So I've got at the end of that, I've got two bends from 20 of the first string. Then when I bring it down on the third pick, I'm actually just vibratoing that. At the end of that, I'm just playing 18, 17, and that's going to lead us into this almost Hammett-esque nonsense shred. So what I'm doing here, I'm playing 20, 18, 17, and then I'm just moving that back chromatically for 8 triplets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I want to get close to 5, 6, which is where that sort of next legato run's going to be. So let's have a look at what we've got thus far from the start. Okay, now I'm in position from the 5 with that crazy nonsense shred. I'm going to work through this through relatively fast triplets, but we'll just take it slowly till we've got our head around the idea. So I'm starting off, the first triplet is going 5, 6, 5, hammer on, pull off on the first string. And then I'm going to go from 8 of the second string, 5 of the first to 8 of the second. That's going to give us 2 triplets. Okay, then I've got, what I'm doing here is I'm playing 6, 5 on the second, jumping to 7 of the third, then playing 5 of the second, and then 7, 5 on the third. We should have 4 triplets now. Okay, then I work into this phrase. Let's slow that down. Now the weird thing is this one isn't entirely diatonic because you would think that going to the F makes perfect sense, but he jumps to the E and then kind of works his way in and around this. So it's not that straightforward. Let's take our time with this. I'm playing 8, 7, 5, 7, 5 on the fourth string. And as I said before, I'm going to go to the 7 of the 5th string. That's 2 triplets. And then from that point, so from that 7, I'm going to hammer 8, 7, 5, 7, 8. And that's going to resolve to that G note on fret 5 of the 4th string. So all together. At the end of that, I'm going to play in a pretty straight quarter notes for a little bit. The last bit sort of speeds up, but I'm going to play 7, 5, 3, 2 on the 4th string, and then I'm going to be playing 5, 3 on the 5th. I've got 2 quick 8th notes. That's playing 5-3 on the 6th string and then to 1st fret. At that point, the song fades out so much that there's barely any audible solo, so we will end it there. Let's take it right from the start at a gentleman's pace from this section, and then we'll do it again even slower with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. And that was the second solo from Mr. Crowley by Ozzy Osbourne, played by Randy, of course. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And please click the links in the description box if you want to join up with the Patreon and get tabs to this lesson and anything else that I do, as well as the solo builders. I also do giveaways and course giveaways as well. I have 3 new books I'm very excited to share with you. 1 new book, which is Shred Guitar Improvisation, helping you guys deal with chord changes and sequencing and ways to just sex up your improvisational playing. Also have Rock Guitar Mode Mastery, my second book, if you want to up your understanding of modes in a composition and of course improvisational context. And finally, my first book, Ultimate Shred Machine, if you want to up your chops in shredding, sweeping, legato and tapping. There is a chock-a-block amount of exercises in that delightful book. I'm very, very proud of all 3 of these guys, and if you're not much of a reader, I have 2 of those books in Udemy course form if you want to watch them in videos as well. And I'll be working on the latest book as a Udemy course too, so you guys can watch and enjoy that. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the lesson. I'll catch you all very soon.